I always forget to hit the countdown timer first. What up, stream? How you guys doing today? Nurgle Matthew, the Idiot Painter, Captain McLean, Dark Horse. How are y'all doing? Yeah, I normally, well, I don't always forget to do it, but I've forgotten to hit the timer that like shows when the actual stream starts the last 2 times. Whoops. Enoch Root with the sub, 35 months. Holy shit, dude, it's almost 3 years. That's what you said. Nice, thank you for the sub, appreciate it so much. Atsu, 21 months, almost 2 years. What up? What up, Atsu? I still haven't forgotten how I crushed you in Spellbreakers, or what is it called, Spelljammers? I'm just fucking with you. All right, okay. We're gonna start off the day with some mail time. And I think we're gonna look at a pretty interesting product here that isn't yet released or was just put on pre-order at the UK Games Expo like a week ago. Flapjack Nickel Sayak. Thank you for the sub. 20 months. Man, so many tenured, long subscribers. I appreciate it, guys, so much. Look at that, dude. I'm just kidding, brother. We both playing a game that we had never played before. There's no strategy really involved. Straken says, I am not prepared without the countdown. Yeah, me either, honestly. I'm like, I hit the button and I'm like, wait, was that the wrong button? And then it's just like, okay, we're here now. I'm not gonna undo it. All right, so this is a figure case and a display case. A figure case and a hobby supply carrying case, let me get it right, called the, as you can see, the Mechie. It's made by a company called Tabletop Tech. There's no Kickstarter for this. They're just making it, I believe, when I read the email right before the stream, they were doing a pre-order for it at the UK Games Expo. So I assume that means there won't be a Kickstarter, at least for the initial release of the product. Amos Dean, 23 months. Dang, there they all are. All the high sub-month dudes coming out. Appreciate it, y'all. This is a prototype. They made several prototypes before, I think 12, before finalizing on the design and the molds for the design. So we got one of the 12 prototypes here, and it is the Duncan Rhodes Paint Academy Edition, DRPA. Reaper Miniatures were rated 36. Thank you, Reaper. Appreciate it. We're looking at a new figure case and also a carrying case for hobby supplies right now. We're just digging into it. I looked at it very briefly, and there's a lot of things in here, and I don't know how they all get used. I'm looking forward to discovering that with you guys, honestly, right now. Like, there are electronics in here. There is a circuit board in here. I assume it's for something trivial like lights, but I don't know. So let's find out together. Let's first crack it open and just kind of see cameras and things. Just kind of see what we're dealing with here. With Papa Metal Man, we're just we're taking a look at a case right now. We're doing some mail times. Came in the mail while I was away. Went and got it from the mailman yesterday, and then cracked it open and was kind of confused. Just Puka with 19 months. God damn. Thank you, sir. Captain McLean asks, will that box survive a luggage x-ray machine? Can it do that? I don't know, dude. Even if it were to get hit by those things, those machines can't do that kind of damage, you know? All of their images on the website, like the case 3D printed. Any of the idea the final product is going to be hard plastic or printed? I'm assuming because of the mold requirements that they had mentioned to me in the email, it will be hard plastic, but I don't know. There are definitely components of this thing that I have that are FDM printed. So the only thing I really know about this thing is that you twist those 2 clamps to the little red dials here, and maybe I can, does this have a more helpful image? It's an interesting image. I don't know if it's helpful, but yeah, so you have these little red things, and now it'll open like that. This is exciting. Oh, there's a lot of things in here. All right. So we see the name of the company, Tabletop Tech. There is a lot of things in here. I don't think I got instructions anywhere. I checked the email as well. I didn't see any instructions on, like, you know, what the various components are. We'll take a look. We'll figure it out. We're smart people. I was an engineer at some point. I went to college. I should be able to figure this out. All right, we're gonna put this stuff down for now, and we're gonna take a look at some of the individual components just to get an idea of what's going on here. Okay, let's actually pop back to the top-down camera because that was actually kind of nice. And we'll zoom in so we can look at individual components more clearly. There we go, that's a nice focus. Okay, so we have a big oval base here. Okay, textured on the bottom with these knobs here that twist in. I think this is actually, oh, that is so clean. Okay, I think this is actually missing something because when I did take, so maybe this is gonna be a clue as to what some of the components are in these, yeah, okay. Just starting to figure out what some of these other things in here are. Oh, that's slick. That's slick, Tabletop Tech. All right, so there's supposed to be a rubber grommet in here. And when you twist this rubber grommet, it creates a pressure fit for, you know, your typical GW-sized oval base that goes in here. The reason I know that it's supposed to have that is because all of the other ones have it. So let's take a look at this thing. This thing is actually really slick, how this works. So there are several of these in the case. Well, here's just a random spring. Here you can get an idea of what a smaller version of this looks like. So you push this thing forward, it compresses the grommet, and it holds your model in place. So you know what? Let's just test it. Let's grab a couple models of various sizes, and we will see how it works. Because one thing that's interesting is that it seems like it's catered toward GW models, but I'm curious if it works on all types of models, maybe like Shatterpoint. Some random 3D printed shit that I have. Zombicide, yeah, let's grab a couple of things here and just see what happens. How about a Simon or a Song of Ice and Fire thing? How about one of these big ones, one of these small ones? Okay. We got a couple of bases. Let's do some testing and just see. Okay. This is gonna be great. I hope so. QVC Miniature Painting Edition. What is that? Quality something control? Tubikins! Thanks for the sub. All right. So, because it's rubber, and you know it's got some squish factor, it should be able to fit a couple of round bases. So here's a Zombicide base. This one actually was painted by Roman Lapat when I was visiting him. It's a fun little memento. If I push this in to its max thing, yeah, that ain't going nowhere. That ain't going nowhere. Okay, I was concerned when I first looked at this that it was going to cater to GW too much, but I see that they've built in some variability into the design so that it can accommodate other stuff. Very cool. All right, so then we unclamp that, it comes out, no problem, and then it should have absolutely zero issue doing a 28 mil base. Yep. Lord Area Can, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for the sub. All right, that was a 28. How about a 28 and a half? Is this like... Oh, okay, so then okay. There are different, that's so clever. Very nice. There are different tensions you can put it at. Obviously, that's a little bit lower of a tension. That is a little bit higher of one because it pushes it in more, and that's the least. Okay, so Honestly, I don't even think I need no pressure for this, for a 28.5 mil base. All right, this is a little uncomfortable. Okay. Is this stuck? No. If I just loosen it, and then it's fine. Okay, it's more fine. That was definitely doable. That was doable. That was comfortable. Okay, now bigger bases, 32s. I don't think this is gonna fit. If it is gonna fit, it's gonna be with some weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, I don't know if this is intentional, but it can sit on top of the rubber grommet, and the ramp edge here pushes it into the edge of the hard plastic, and that also works. I don't know if that's intentional. If it is, fucking bravo. I like that a lot. And then we have some holes here, maybe for some attachment points. Okay, very cool. So all of my circular, kind of your typical base sizes you're gonna find in a lot of games work either in a designed way or an undesigned way. It still works. Okay, and then for these bigger ones, which I don't have any grommets for, I would assume that fits in there pretty nicely with some leeway. Here's a smaller one for maybe some smaller cavalry. Again, that all fits very nicely. You have larger circle bases that have the pressure from both sides. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, now let's take a look at this thing that we kind of looked at briefly earlier. I'm gonna zoom out just a skosh. Okay. Hey Scott, really enjoyed watching you play Battletech Jason from Monument Hobbies. Didn't get to see the end of the show though. Did playing a game change your feelings about the game, or is it still not your flavor? You didn't get to see the end of the game? Oh, there's a VOD of it on my YouTube channel, I believe, if you want to check it out. I guess this size base would fit in that circular one that I just pulled out. Oh, okay, it has the size on the side there, maybe 55 millimeter. Is that what that stands for? Let's see. 55, so 5.5 centimeters? Yeah, just about. Okay, so the number on the side is the diameter of the thing. Very cool. All right, 1 second. Let me just flip this airbrush thing around. It's fucking annoying me. All right. Is there a hole in the bottom to push up from rather than, No, there isn't, but that is interesting feedback for the developer. There are holes. So if push comes to shove and you need to get something out, you could stick something in there to push it out if need be. But just having a hole down there for your finger to fit into might be a good idea. Obviously, you don't want your model to fling out across the table, but you would probably be holding it and then pushing it out. But then you would also need some kind of finger to pull this back. It kind of gets a little hairy, but some kind of thing to get it out might be nice. Confused Warp Entity, thanks for the Prime sub. Papa Chicken, I played, I think actually if you go to my YouTube channel and you go to the live tab, I only have 2 live streams ever, I believe, that are in that live tab. It's the most recent gameplay with Vince Venturella playing his new game, Death Wizards, and then also the Battletech stream with Jason. I think they're both there. Who says I don't want my model to fling across the table? So the Shatterpoint bases might fit in that. It depends how thick the grommet is. Okay, anyways, I want to show you guys this thing. This is very cool, I think. This is very clever. So, there are several of these trays. I'm seeing 3 fully assembled and perhaps some more. Ooh, is that a little bit smaller? It's a little bit smaller. Okay, so we won't do that one. How about we do a couple of small ones though? So you stick that in there, and then I think you push down or push back. Yeah, you push back on that. And now, look at that. They're all stuck in there. Wow, okay, very cute. I love it. And now you can take them out. Okay, so obviously they're trying to have like a non-destructive grip on the rim of the base. It's nice. This is obviously a solution that doesn't involve magnetization, which people don't want to deal with sometimes. This is a Song of Ice and Fire base. You know, it's possible actually that these aren't supposed to have rubber grommets in them, and they're just supposed to be a pressure fit. If I'm looking at the side angle here, there is a curve in the profile of this knob, which means in my head that it's supposed to kind of hug the base a little bit. If we look at the grommet ones, they have this captive ceiling on them that keeps the grommet in place, and these things don't have that. I think that's a bit of a miss because this design idea just has variability built into it. And so it's like you can fit, you know, anything from, I think it's 25 mil or 28 mil to something even like this big base sitting on top of the grommets. And it all works in just this one size. And so that is amazing. And then to lose out on that now means that my kind of more awkward size bases, like that's not gonna fit. My Star Wars and Shatterpoint isn't gonna fit. So yeah, I kind of wish that these also had the little rubber rings that hugged stuff in them, because that would really work then. So then what? This is supposed to fit in here perfectly then, right? Yeah, okay. So let's see how this works. So it fits in there, and then I do that, and now we're good. Again, if you have 75 mil ovals exactly, it will work perfectly. But if you don't, then it won't, unfortunately. So yeah, I like the grommets. I like how they allow for more options. Their choice of only one top layer is kind of weird because nobody knows how they work. The choice of only one top layer is kind of weird. I don't know what you mean by that. One top layer. I'm not sure what you mean. They got to have a 40 mil somewhere. You're right. They're not going to not have that. Okay, we have more trays. These would be trays that would fit the old Blood Knight bases. So I could stick my whole unit in there, and they would work. Okay, nice, that works. I have to say, out of all the different ways I have seen to secure minis on trays, this might be the best. I still think that magnets are the best, purely because it requires such simple materials and gets you such value. For instance, I can stack a model like this in a metallic tray. With this tray, while it is very cool tooling, you're losing efficiency in every single space. And so it's not much, don't get me wrong. I mean, you're losing it here as well. This is wasted space. But with magnets, it's just so simple. It's just like, none of this matters. You need a piece of metal hot glued into a shoebox, and you can bring any model, any size, any profile, anywhere, provided your shoebox is big enough. That kind of versatility and just ease of materials and also availability you can't compete with it in my head so far. But this is very, very cool for those who are unwilling to deal with magnets. And maybe that's what you meant. Kind of a weird choice for a demo product to some people. Why is this a weird choice? The top layer on the print is thin because they only print one layer, so you see infill. Oh, I see what you're saying. I guess it's a little bit weird. Maybe it was intentional. Okay, here we go. So someone said 40 mils have got to exist. So the trays don't have the sizes printed on them, but we have a couple more sizes here that involve the grommet design, if we can call it that. So does she fit in here now more nicely? This is my novitiate leader. Hell yeah, bro. She does. It's nice. It's cool. I really like it. So that fits in there. Does Shatterpoint fit in here? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. It does. That's cool. That's very cool. I don't often feel this way about a lot of products that I'm sent, but like I can tell these people really cared about this product and how it functioned and how it was designed. It's very cool. I'm into it. All right, what else do we got down here? There's yet more accessories. Okay, we have this thing. I don't know what this is. It's got a little dovetail on it, so it's probably an accessory rail and it slides into something. I will figure that out probably later. me just make sure my chat is being taken care of. I prefer magnets even outside of wasted space. There's extra work of locking and unlocking each slot. This is true. My shoebox is big enough. Might make more sense for games that play using unit trays than actual transports. Yeah, I'm unsure who this marketed to other than people who are just like, I'm not going to do magnets. Yeah, I meant other than magnets. Yeah, okay, I got what you're saying, Drake. Magnets are the best. That's how. Yeah, gotcha. Mike Janae, 43 months. What the hell? God damn. God damn. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate your support, dude. I think Twitch is really special just because, like, I'm not, like, really active. Well, YouTube doesn't really, like, allow creators. Well, it does. Now it does. But in the past, it didn't used to allow creators to really develop a relationship with, like, their followers. Like, you might see a name putting comments on your videos routinely, but you never were able to really foster a relationship. It was only through Discord and Twitch that I was able to really get to know people that like to watch my videos. And now it's a really cool experience. And Mike Janae is one of those people. Dinkelbergs with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, sir. If you got a gifted sub from Dinkelbergs, thank Dinkelbergs in the chat. And also say his name because it's wonderful. It's a wonderful name. Thadoy de Lotanar. Thank you for the prime sub. Now Scott's out here hugging dudes. I'm hugging dudes, man. When I get drunk, I'm all about kissing dudes, let me tell you. All right, I want to just quickly look at the box. Let me put it on the face cam. Okay, so in the box, with all of the accessories removed, it has 3 of the kind of standard base size transports on either side. And I'm kind of curious if there is a good way to get these things out. Is like, okay, so they're captive inside of a rail. Okay. Check it out. I think I figured it out. All right, we're gonna lock this shit up. Okay. There are these nuts on top. And I bet if I loosen these and take this top layer off, I'll be able to slide the trays out. Okay, yeah. Sorry for the R2D2 sounds. Yes, this is it. Okay. Super cool. Very cool. And so presumably I could, swap things out if need be. It's slick. It's slick. But does it bring value to the average consumer? Okay, there is this little triangle piece that kind of just came out of nowhere. All right, now we have some other stuff in wraps here. Let's make sure we're all keeping everything tidy. I have no idea what this is for yet, so we'll keep it off to the side. Does this like pop off? No, it doesn't. Your name is so close to my actual name, it's Eerie. That's funny. You're welcome, lads. Been watching you for years. Scott, big fan. Learned a lot from your videos. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dinkle. I appreciate it. First time a streamer got my name right. That part isn't special. These nuts on top. Nice. On a scale of 1 to 10, survives TSA. Someone else made that joke earlier. Oh, it's so good, dude. This thing seems a little, I don't know. That TSA thing, like, it broke like an aluminum metal cage that, had some support and structure. I have no idea. Nothing can survive. There's nothing I hate more in a 3D printable product than having to find specialized pieces of hardware to complete it. This is a Duncan Rhodes product, but the impression that I am getting from it is this is something entirely developed by Tabletop Tech, and he just put his logo on it? I don't know. That wasn't made super clear. I kind of get the impression that they have other cases on their website, tabletoptech.com or .co.uk.com, where they would have other stuff not involving Duncan, but I don't know. But it is a Duncan Rhodes product. All right, we got this. What is this? Sorry. Oh, it worked. All right, we got a little bit of plastic wrap here. A little plastic bag. Rufus says, okay, you're talking about things like this specialized hardware, like whatever this is and whatever this like long rail is for. Is that what you're referring to when you say specialized stuff? All right. Now in this little baggie, I have a sprue of things. Ooh, it's very rubbery. Not super clear on what these things are for. Some washers, some very short flathead screws. Okay, so they probably go into a hole that's countersunk. So maybe in here or in here. Okay. Maybe these are feet. These seem like feet. So you might screw this in to a thing to give it some feet. We'll see. These seem to be more of like the clamps, the pinches that would push one of those rubber grommet rings into position. We have just some blank honeycomb trays here as well. Looks like 3 of them. Yeah, 3 of them. All right, I'm gonna mute myself and then do all this plastic rustling and then unmute myself as I put all this stuff away. I don't wanna lose any of it. Give me a sec. Hold on, I have to unmute myself to say, what up, Cujo? Okay, I'm back. Scott only transports his miniatures in lead cubes now. It's really his only barrier to win a Colton team. The screws, okay. I was just about to say, yeah, they were very rubbery, so I think they're probably rubber feet of some kind, or some kind of thing that would like help with, you know, forcing a model against a wall because it's squishy, whatever. I mean, like the bolt at the top. Finding whatever specific hardware the maker used to make it, like are they metric or are they SAE? Does the hardware store down the street have them, or do I have to go to a big box store? How much are they going to cost me? Yes, actually, if you guys have like feedback about this, I bet the developer is going to watch the VOD, at least this part. So leave some feedback for him. All right, we have some more of these clampy clamps. And it looks like, okay, so we are getting some bigger versions of these circular holders that do involve the grommet design that I thought was really nifty. They just require some assembly. Okay, cool, very cool. Again, this is very slick. I cannot understate how slick and cool this is. Okay. And then a random spring. All right, now the very last thing that I just saw briefly and was like, what the fuck is this? Is there are some electronics. So let's maybe zoom out a little bit more, because this is gonna be kind of bigger. Guys, I watched Star Wars Visions, or I've watched 3 episodes. And I gotta say, the very first episode, called, I think, The Duel, is so fucking good. It's so good, dude. It's like better than any Star Wars thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That's not true, but it's very good. I can't wait to watch more of them. Okay, so we got another tray here, kind of rectangular. Give them the clamps. Case designed by Clamps Clampazzo. If you want the cellophane rustling audio, you're gonna have to, yeah. That's for the ASMR tier. What up, Chris Creates? Good to have you back, brother. You in college? How's college? I've actually been printing a competing product to this called the Warganizer. They make system-specific trays for their printable cases. It's all pretty simple in assembly and operation. Just looking at these, I would recommend that instead, okay? Visions is good fun. It's none of them to hand off the reins. It's nice of them to hand off the reins to their universe, to let people tell unique stories. I agree. And the stories are good. They're very interesting. I would definitely recommend checking out the first episode of season 1 if you haven't ever watched Star Wars Visions. It's just so cool. All right, we have a big sheet of acrylic or plexi. It's quite thick. It's like half an inch thick, or like 20 mil. Not 20 mil. That'd be ridiculous. Oh, that's 2 centimeters. No, that's not ridiculous. I don't know what it is, what it's for, but it's big and it's clear. Okay. Now, lastly, the electronics. Bro, what is this? This is crazy. Okay, so there's some LEDs in there. They clearly wanted to show off, or maybe they didn't because it's a prototype. I'm just trying to see if like any of the bits and bobs move. If like I'm seeing a symbol here. That might just be a company logo of some kind. We got holes for some kind of installation. Are there holes in this sheet? No. No. I'm assuming this is a cover, perhaps? No, it's not the same size. Okay. I'm just looking through all of the plastic wrap right now just to figure if I have misplaced something. I don't think I have. Also, I'm totally using that bubble wrap for my shipping. I'm sorry guys, I don't know what this is for. It kind of seems like a replacement bottom for the case or a replacement top or something like that so it can illuminate the models from below or something. Oh, hold on here. I'm seeing a barrel jack right there, and I have this right here. Let's see what happens when we plug it in. I think I actually do have a USB power right built into this desk, so let's see what happens. Hold on, this is gonna be a little awkward. Chat, I am currently under my desk. Okay. Okay, I see some lights. Okay, it lights up. But why do you need a circuit? What logic is this performing? The carrying top case? Possibly. I think the preview video, it replaces the top and turns the case into a display version. Okay. College is good. Art school turned out to be exactly what I was looking for. Who knew? A copy of The Ranger has been eyeing me all semester. Over the summer, I'm finally get to it. Awesome. That's awesome, Krish. That goofy long thing with the rail is a paintbrush holder. Oh. Okay, let's just chill on that for a smidge. Let's test the paintbrush holder. Okay, yeah, you know what? That works. That works. And it has a similar, oh, that's kind of breaking. That's okay. It has some kind of rail, so it goes in with the rest of the equipment, which is cool. So this isn't, oops, this is not battery powered, right? Like the moment I pull this, it's just gonna turn off. Yeah, okay. What the fuck? Okay, so it's supposed to just be like, you set it somewhere, Sorry, I'm just like starting sentences that I don't finish. You set it somewhere and plug it in, and then that's it. You're not meant to travel with it while illuminated. Let's try this out. So yeah, it fits right there. This seems like this should go down, right? Oh, okay. You know, I kind of feel like I should probably have like watched a video before like trying to guess how this is supposed to work. I am failing right now. All right, so you slip this in. Yeah, that's got to be it. Maybe this can't fit in. Oh yeah, baby. But like, where do you plug it in then? Okay, so like, yeah. I think y'all are right. I mean, you've watched the video clearly. So it this thing inserts nicely, probably actually on this side, not the other side. And then it illuminates the rest of your models. But it illuminates them sideways? It's kind of interesting. I don't know why. Would you want that to happen? Yeah, it's supposed to go on this side for sure. And yeah, okay, now I'm not an idiot anymore. Now it's on the outside. Okay. All right. Oh, and then the trays were the walls that we were seeing on the outside of the case. Oh. Okay. Oh. Sorry, my mind's being blown right now. Well, actually, now I'm even more confused. So on this side, you have the display. And on this side, you don't have anything covering, but there is a slot. There is a slot. Okay. Wow. I'm impressed. This is like an engineering feat. At least it feels that way. Can you put feet on the bottom? Oh, maybe. This is like watching Jazza try to do an art project and refusing to even remotely research the process first. Hey, I read the email they sent me and our conversation. But what is the circuit board for? The paintbrush thing seems to slot into the side of the paintbrush thing seems to slot into the side of the hinge. Gotcha. Wow. Okay, I see. Oh, I understand what happened. My shit broke. Okay. This triangle thing is the other side of this dovetail join. And it's supposed to slide in here like this. So that thing in the very middle, that rectangular structure, is a brush holder. And then when everything's closed up, then your brush is right in the center. Okay, very cool. Now I know what that triangle thing is, and I know it's not a piece, it's just a broken thing. That's fine, it's an FDM print. One other thing we should test out, because it's supposed to also carry hobby products, is paint bottles. All right, let's grab a couple of weird ones, a wash, a GW paint, a dropper bottle, a GW paint, maybe a Tamiya clear, maybe a Liquitex ink, maybe a Chimera paint. Okay, let's see what happens. That is exactly where the clear piece goes. You're correct. So you are meant to either replace one of the the planes or put it in the side that doesn't have one, the piece of acrylic glass, and then you can see through into the case. Yes, that's how it works. What up, professional paint licker? This must be how he assembles miniatures too. Directions, kit bash everything. Yeah. Tornado watch today, cool. Engineering feat. Hey, it's more fun this way. Let Sir Scott find his way. I'm actually appreciating you guys helping me out as well. Yes, the acrylic sheet replaces the wall. That honeycomb piece is a larger base holder that sits, a large base holder that sits at the bottom? What bases is it meant to hold? It has no it has like screw holes on it, but that's kind of it. Anyways, I mean, I think this is gonna work in a very similar fashion to how we're already familiar. So I put actually, shockingly, the Darth bottle does not fit in that hole. I kind of thought that was gonna be, is it maybe, I mean, it probably fits the other way, but is that how you want to put your fucking, no. All right, maybe these are slightly larger than like Vallejo or something? This also could be for minis, but they seem so deep that they should be for paint bottles. These were all the ones that I pulled out of the case. Vallejo doesn't fit, scale doesn't fit. I mean, it kind of fits, but I gotta like fucking force it in there. Like it doesn't even need this clamp, it's not coming out. RG Hanome, thank you for the sub, appreciate it. You screw some of those clamp things into the honeycomb. Okay, so it's kind of like a modular thing, or it's not modular, but there's some assembly required. Okay, understood. DRPA only. Other paints need not apply. Hey, I have some of those. Oh, do not tell me. Okay, tabletop tech. This is such a massive fail. These things need to be big enough to also fit every other dropper bottle in them. You have variability in the size that you have tolerances in the size of paint bottle that it allows for, you know. It'll work with the Duncan Rhodes paints while also still working for like every other major dropper bottle brand that you are gonna probably see, you know, be dealing with customers. Like no one just has the Duncan Rhodes paints. Come on. That can't be intentional. Okay, so we figured that out. Boy, that's probably my biggest critique of the product is that, which is not hard to fix. That's not a hard thing to fix at all, which is good. Okay, now some other hobby products. We know about these trays. We don't need to mess with them anymore. There aren't any other trays that are deep. You know what? Maybe the colors are for specific brands. Just give me a sec here, chat. I'm gonna pop over here. Is like green bigger? Teal bigger? Nope, they're all the same size. Okay. There are no other trays that are like deep, like the ones we just saw. So I'm assuming the rest of these are for models. Okay, so I think that's everything that we've in the product so far. I don't know why there's like circuitry with the LED layer. Maybe that's just for like power delivery or something like that. But what are you guys thinking? I was just joking when I said that. Huge oversight. My fellow chatters, what product is this? This is the DRPA, the Duncan Rhodes Paint Academy figure case and also hobby tool case. It's pretty fancy. We just looked at it. We just did a pretty deep dive on this whole thing for like the first 20 to 30 minutes of this stream. So catch it when the VOD comes out so you can see what this thing is all about. All right. I don't want to lose these things. I'm just going to screw them in real quick. All right. Let me just set this stuff down so I don't lose it, because I am a master at losing shit. How has 2024 been treating you so far? 2024 is pretty meh for me, but you know. Okay, let me just plug my USB thing back in because it charges the cell phone that I use to like focus my camera without touching it. And then we'll grab this cable. Okay. They have photos showing Citadel and Vallejo paints in the trays. There is no way in hell the Citadel paints will fit in those trays. However, I bet the Vallejo paints and whatnot could fit in here. Right? Like this will work, or it won't. Oh no, it doesn't really work, surprisingly. These little guys are too shallow to... Okay, so I must just have a prototype that is not working because the fit is not good. Like all the other fits for like the models and stuff are really nice. They fit really well. And I had to really like kind of shove these things in there to get them in there. So this need to be a little bit bigger maybe. Just a skosh larger. Those colored clip things you opened up are what you screw. Okay, gotcha. I'm guessing they have different sizes for Citadels. I would assume that as well. Okay, final thoughts about this product. I always kind of think, like whenever I'm designing products, or like, I say that with some kind of like I'm some kind of authority. If I were to make a product, and I've made some, I always want to think about what exists out in the market and like who I'm trying to add value to. And like who I'm competing with. And like if I'm going to replace functionality that already exists in the world, am I doing it in a meaningful way or a worthwhile way? And this is a figure case. It transports hobby tools, models and whatnot. And it does it in a sexy fashion. But I don't really know if it does it in a better fashion, you know? I don't think it's necessarily better than magnets or like even other implementations. It looks cooler, it feels cooler, it's well engineered, but like, you know, at the end of the day, what can I fit in here, you know? Let's think about this. If I outfit this thing with 3 trays on each side with the 28 to 32 mil base holders, that is 12 models a tray, 36 each side, 72 miniatures. So that's a solid amount. That's an amount for an army, for sure, if all your models are that size. And then there are some bigger ones that you can screw into this honeycomb thing at the bottom. So, like Rufus said, the holes on this thing are spaced such that I can probably do this. No? Yes? No, not with these ones. Maybe some other ones. Oh, maybe like this? Nope. Anyways, these get attached somehow to this thing and would presumably take up space. Oh, I see. There are 4 little stands here in the bottom, and they would attach right there, which then allows you to screw in these things however you see fit. I understand. Okay. However, in doing that, you lose the 2 bottom carrying trays. So I would say this thing can carry an entire army, probably. It couldn't carry my Soulblight army. It can't fit my dragon. It couldn't fit all 5 of my Blood Knights. I don't see a world where, maybe 5 of these things would fit in this tray. But that's it. If you have 10, you're screwed. So it's like, Is it doing a better job than what currently exists? I don't think so. It does it sexier, and it does it, yeah, that's it. And it also allows you to avoid magnets. But it requires so much tooling to do that if that's what you're looking to do. The PCB board is a controller for the 32 LED lights and controls the different colors. Cool. Those latches would definitely be more secure than magnets for long trips. That is true. There is more strength in these mechanical restraints than in a magnet. Also, they have flathead, like little indentations in these things in case stuff gets stuck. You need some kind of tool to help with more leverage. The Almighty Spaz! Thank you for the sub. Better than a GW case? Abso-fucking-lutely. I have no idea why people are still using foam to transport their miniatures. And so maybe that's who they're targeting. Maybe they're targeting because this is a Duncan Rhodes product. A lot of Duncan's customers come from a world that, you know, is very GW focused. And this is absolutely better than foam. Like, with just from the pure perspective of you're not going to damage the paint on your models with like an abrasive foam that's rubbing against your fucking models, like as they move constantly. I think it needs to be expandable so armies with bigger models can still fit. The plastic strip I don't think broke off. It looks like it stores the hinge and you use it like a screw. It very clearly broke off. Just looking at it, you can tell that it broke. Maybe I'm wrong. It's very possible that I'm wrong, but yeah, it looks like it broke off. But maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I think then all the screws here, you can just like, you know, pick and choose wherever you want to put these things. And I bet you could fit 1, 2, 5 of these things in here for a full unit of 5 Blood Knights. Different piece then possibly, yeah. Maybe I didn't uncover it. Maybe I'm just wrong. I feel like it's a Swiss Army type case, i.e. can change to many different tasks. GW has a new case that's rubber nubs. Interesting. Yeah, the GW case is so bizarre though. This is definitely a little bit. The problem is that this is so specific, right? This is trying to target a very specific size of bases and stuff. And so when you do things like that, you need lots of mechanical tooling like this to make it like nice and clean. The more broad strokes you try to do, the less specific it becomes and the more general it is. I feel like GW's rubber band approach is more general. It allows for you to potentially transport different size models. Like for instance, if I want to use one of these trays, I have now dedicated this surface area, this volume of space in my case to 12 of these dudes. Let's say I only want 8 of them, or I only want 6 of them. Now the rest of this space just goes unused, and I can't do anything about that. With GW's design, you can put whatever you want in that rubber banded thing. I'm not saying it's good, but there's more variability there. Because we went down a specific route with this design, you are stuck with, you know, the options that they've made. You know, I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. You know, the price. I think the price really matters. If the price is right and you are not a fan of magnets, or you want, I don't know, magnets have literally never failed me. I was just driving to a Necromunda game with my my carrying case in my passenger seat next to me, and it literally flipped forward and went topside down into the footwell because I broke too fast. From then on, I seatbelted it in, but it still did that total head dive into the footwell and nothing came out. So I think, you know, provided you use the right strength magnets for the model, I don't think you'll have too much issue with that. That's another important thing, Atsu, that you mentioned, is that you're not going to magnetize your paint bottles. I suppose you could. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. I've never seen someone do that, but you totally could do that if you wanted to. So this is a storage solution for them, but you don't really need storage solutions for your paints. You can just throw it in a fucking box and then, you know, you're good to go. Or You can throw it in a sexy metal brush coffin. I don't know. I really like this. I really like how well it's made. Like, not like material-wise. This is a prototype, so I don't know what materials they use. But they clearly thought about it. And like they clearly tested things, some things, not the size of dropper bottles apparently, and tried to make a product that, you know, has variability, can fit people's needs and stuff like that. Like, I can tell someone who cared tried to make this, which I think is the most important thing. It isn't just trash. It isn't just something from another hobby teleported over to our hobby. You know, like, this is a thing designed for us, and it was designed pretty fucking well. Your starting transition always gets me, yeah. Locally sourced organic slurps. Okay, here's our red Vader. We were working on the middle chest thing last time we ended the stream. Yeah, it looks fine. I might do a little bit more highlighting to pump up the jams a bit, and then we'll paint the little buttons. Barrow, so we're gonna go with a dark saber. I think that'll work. You know, Vader is normally black with a red lightsaber, so we're gonna invert him, make him red with a black saber. I'd say free range, but we all know Scott's locked in that office. That's the sound that Vader makes when he drinks that reprocessed water from his suit. Oh, I didn't know that Vader was a Fremen. Extra GMOs in those slurps. Where is the inspiration for Red Vader? Looks dope. The inspiration is just, I would say it was from episode 9. Honestly, all the new Star Wars movies are my inspiration. If Disney is allowed to change up Stormtrooper, make it red, then I can change up Darth Vader. You know, it's not like I'm making them like fucking baby blue. You know, red is a very prominent color in the Empire, so it's it's reasonable to assume that a red Vader could exist. IMO. Okay. Let's grab some of our red products. We got some fluo ink, some fluo paint, some very saturated red paint, and a couple of intermediaries. No neon pink. He is from the desert. Waiting for Synthwave Vader. Tiffany & Co. presents Vader. Where's my baby blue Vader now? Blueberry Vader. We're missing the... There it is. There it is. Actually, this is not the fluo one. Yeah, we don't need this one. Okay. What up, Profab? There was a Star Wars comic where a messed up Vader storms into his ship after a battle all messed up and is quickly refitted with fresh armor. It's very believable that he has many suits, and maybe one is red. Yeah. All right, we need a little bit of red. We need a little bit of white. Am I actually running low on my white Sonya? My white Yo Sonya? I've had this paint for so long. Need some black. Vader turns red when he goes dark side Force Saiyan. I'm feeling like red today, VD3R. You think Vader's droid's name is VD3R? Maybe V4? D3R? I'm not sure we can accept lore from someone who likes the prequels that much. I agree. I think we just don't listen to Jay. No one can like the prequels that much. I mean, I feel like when I saw them in theaters as a little kid, like I really liked them. I didn't know anything about, you know. I think it was only till I was an adult where I was like, oh, we don't like Gungans? Okay. Well, not all Gungans, but just Jar Jar Binks. Speaking of Vader, did I play Jedi Survivor? Yes, I did. I beat that game and the other one. As the uniquely Vincey V Vader roast on Tough Help. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Can we all agree that at least 7, 8, 9 were hot garbage? As far as like storytelling and characters and dialogue, mostly go. You know, honestly, as far as plot and storytelling go, yes, 7, 8, 9 are trash. In some dialogue. Anyone who doesn't look at Star Wars through the perspective of a child is doing it wrong. That's an interesting take. Maybe his armor changes color with his mood. So he's got like mood armor. He's like a mood ring. Profab. I give it a sub. What did 7 do? Literally 7 is a good movie. I would say the only thing that 7. The question is that's actually a great question, Jay. What did 7 do? It kind of did nothing. It told an identical story to Episode 4 with a new skin. I think that's probably the biggest critique of Episode 7, just that it didn't do anything, you know? It could have started us off in a totally different timeline and with a different story, not even looking at, you know, Jedi in a specific way. It could have been a story about bounty hunters for all we fucking care, you know? It could have been something so different and interesting, and it wasn't. It was the exact same thing as 4. So I think that's probably the biggest issue. It's fan service and it's a reprint. Tons of Star Wars was inspired by Japanese historical design, and Lucas was also pulled a lot of inspiration from Akira Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress. Now Vader has a red lacquer armor. It works so well. 7's only sin is being a New Hope again, but the cynical nature of the Skywalker saga is kind of the point. Yeah, but you are right though, Jay, that in a vacuum, 7 isn't a bad movie. You're right. I can agree with that for sure. Okay, but can we all agree we're super excited for Episode 10? Was that a thing? Are you just making up a thing right now, Rufus? I feel like 7 is one of my favorite movies. They did exactly what they needed to do in order to get people on board with Disney making movies and executed it perfectly. 8 and 9 were not a good follow-up though. I disagree. I think they could have told a more unique story. I don't think they needed to just do a reprint. Although for those who haven't seen 4, probably fucking epic. Who doesn't want to see a continuation of The Rise of Skywalker? They are making a Rey establishes a new Jedi Order movie. Oh no. Oh no. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. Just because the, you know, movies leading up to it weren't so amazing. Maybe it doesn't mean the other ones are going to be bad. Sam's mini painting. What up? Noir, what up, Noir? Mara Jade for life. Is Mara Jade like Anakin's son's wife or like his mom. Or no, that's Shmi. Mara Jade is Luke's, okay, that's what it was. Extended universe wife, okay, yeah. Mara Jade is Luke's big titty goth girlfriend from the old extended universe. For all that Disney did to the universe, I still enjoyed Rogue One. I think I like Rogue One for what it is. I don't know if it's a good movie necessarily, like in a vacuum, but what it did for Star Wars and how it sets up a, you know, a fairly throwaway line of dialogue in A New Hope, I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. Okay. It did set the stage for Andor. That is true. Cassian Andor. I love chatting about Star Wars with you guys. Jay, have you seen Star Wars Visions? Coronary jump! That boy Red. Thanks for the sub. I don't know if Rogue One's got a B movie Walter. Goddamn. Never gonna live that down. I feel that they took a chance with something different for Rogue One, and I can respect that. I don't think they did. I think it's a very similar Star Wars story to what we've been, you know, hearing all along. The issues are, you know, massive in scale. Even in the story about getting the plans for the Death Star, like, you know, you have this giant planet with like world. Wait, I might be remembering this incorrectly. That's 7, where the planet itself has planet-killing power. But you know, there's many planets and universes we travel to. It's a very huge issue that we need to solve. If we don't solve it, it's like a huge problem for the galaxy. I don't want a smaller story. I want a smaller story. I want characters I don't know about. I don't need such massive stakes all the time. It always comes back to Citizen Kane and the B movie both being rated a 3. Old Gray Phoenix. Hey Scott, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for your amazing miniature painting. Your work has seriously reignited my passion for painting. Seeing your incredible detail and creativity has inspired me to pick up my brushes again and start painting slowly but surely. Your talent is really motivating, and I am super grateful for that. Thanks again for sharing your awesome work. You rock. Thank you, Old Gray Phoenix. I appreciate that. I like that they made the rebellion an actual rebellion in Rogue One. In all hearts. Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, there are some things that Rogue One does so well that I really enjoy. How could you say the peak of humanity, the B movie, is a 3? Have I seen The Acolyte yet? I've seen the first 3 episodes, but not the 4th one. I've seen Andor. Andor is good. Would you call Andor small scale? They're still traveling to many different planets, and they're still fighting this big bad empire, and I don't know if I call it a smaller story. I want a Star Wars movie where they literally never leave the planet they start on. You know? It feels small. Okay. And or feels small to you. What up, Luminous Angel? Swan Shot. We're gonna do a Darksaber. Tales of the Empire was a waste of time. I don't know. I kind of liked it. I kind of agree with the critique online about the Morgan Elsbeth story just being like, I don't know, kind of whatever. It doesn't really tell you a whole lot about Morgan Elsbeth. It kind of just like sets up Ahsoka. That's kind of all the Morgan Elsbeth portion of, you know, that story does. But the Barriss Offee, who I've never known Barriss until watching Tales of the Jedi. That was kind of a cool story. It was cool to get more context for the I think it's the ninth sister, or is it the no? It's a different sister. I forget which sister it is. The ninth sister is the giant orange, or the giant one, right? I can't remember anything. Okay. Mycelium Veins. Welcome back. I agree, Swanshawn. It will look good. Rolls Royce, thoughts on Acolyte so far? Give me a Coruscant detective movie, please. Yes, if we can just take Attack of the Clones, is that the one? The second one? Episode 2? Like the first 30 minutes of that and make it its own whole fucking like thing. Like I would love that. I would love that. Scott, why can't you make 5 videos a week like Eons of Battle? They're just better than me. They're just better than me. That's what it is. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Atropos Moon. I don't want to step away from Jedi and the Force entirely, but that can be a side character. It doesn't need to be all about them. I love that question, though. Okay, what are my thoughts on Acolyte? No spoilers. I wasn't a big fan of the first 2 episodes, but I did enjoy implications in the 3rd episode. But the first 2 episodes had a lot of problems for me. But not so much that I'm like raging on the internet and unwilling to watch the rest of them to see where the story goes. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, so far, it's a mixed bag for me. All the love, buddy. Their pacing is insane. Yeah, they're awesome. You know, Jay and Nick, they have a beautiful, well-oiled machine figured out. They know the kind of videos they want to make, and they make those videos. And they've created a process around that kind of product that allows them to just make that process more and more and more efficient. And then they can just, you know, turn around stuff faster and faster and faster and faster. And it's good. It's impressive. They're awesome. I'm happy we have people like that in the hobby making videos like that. I don't know what 1313 or 1340 is. So it didn't make you mad that you negatively reviewed the wrong thing on Rotten Tomatoes? What? What did I do? I mean, I reviewed. Are you talking about? What are you talking about? I have a little app called Letterboxd where I review movies and stuff that I watch. And I recently reviewed 3 of the episodes that I watched from Star Wars Visions, because they all have their own entry on Letterboxd because they're short stories and not a TV show necessarily. What are you talking about? Oh my God, that actually happened? There are people review bombing the wrong thing? Oh my God. What were they review bombing? I mean, what, if they got it wrong, what were they shitting on instead? Like a different movie called Acolyte or something? 1313 was what the fans wanted. It was a scrapped game that looked amazing based on alpha footage. all like bureaucrat government being switched over to the imperial government and watching civil servants suddenly be like, nah, we ain't gonna do this. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Literally anything outside of Jedi being the forefront character in storyline in the Force. That's a cool part of the galaxy, but you also have other cool elements that are worth exploring. People review bombed Acolytes instead of Acolyte. Oh no, dude. I was thinking a lot of YouTube creators bunch up in network. Second win for gaming. Ever consider something like that for mini painting? No, I've actually never considered something like that for mini painting. I would. That's kind of existed before a long time ago. When I was first getting into YouTube, I was approached by actually Kenny Boucher to join the Long War. He was like, okay, you're part of our network, and you can, we will, advertise your videos along with ours, but the requirement is you need to make a video for the Long War, like once a week or something like that. And at that time, I was like, I can't commit to that kind of thing. That's a big commitment. But yeah, that kind of existed. Have you got a Shatterpoint bodyguard crew for your Vader to command it? Maybe a Kill Your Friends episode? Have I got a Shatterpoint bodyguard or a Shatterpoint crew for your Vader to command? Oh, yes, I do. Yes. I got some Inquisitors all painted up. I painted up that whole box. And then I have some Stormtroopers for Vader to go with that I haven't painted up yet, but are in a work in progress. I would love to do a Kill Your Friends or Shatterpoint. Honestly, there are so many games, guys, that I would love to do a Kill Your Friends for. It's just such a lift to do those videos. I would love to kind of record them and hand them off to an editor, because I'm pretty sure like the kind of thing I'm going for would be the same every single time. And so that's like that's grounds for like getting an editor to do it, if like the process never changes. Kenny Boucher is pretty awesome to listen to. Good painter. He's definitely a good painter. These guys a very efficient way of getting really beautiful results. Vader counts like he's flaunting a seersucker unit. I have no idea what that is. 1313 was basically Drake's Uncharted Mass Effect Star Wars, based entirely in the Underhive Coruscant. That's really cool. I would like a Star Wars movie that follows the life of an insurance agent dealing with the aftermath of the Darth Death Star explosion, uncovering conspiracies and navigating the dangerous politics of the Empire and the Rebellion. I thought at first that was a joke, but then the more I was reading it, the more I was like, oh, you know what? That's kind of a legitimate story. Or just in general, like, how does the Empire spin the destruction of the Death Star as like a positive thing for their government, It's kind of like, Chernobyl. It's like, even to this day, Russia doesn't admit to the number of casualties that that mistake caused them. That's kind of an interesting thing. I want a Star Wars game where you prepare food at Dexter's Diner for all the weird alien customers. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where the buttons are at on this Game Boy Advance he has on his chest. And then I'm giving them a black background so that I can then paint them with colors. I don't know about the colors though, Like, I don't want to just add blue LEDs. To his chest. Or like red or something. Because that would just be weird all of a sudden to like have colors. Nuclear meltdown is not possible in the Soviet Union. You can barely get property insurance in Florida. And no one's going to insure a moon-sized weapon. Given the lack of safety railings on the Death Star, something tells me their insurance wasn't high on the list of stuff to get. Which game you think he's got on there? Pokemon Ruby? White LEDs could work. Pong. Make it like a Pong display. That'd be funny. Let's try white. White is a great place to start from with a thing like this because you can always just like tint it with another color if you want to change them from white to something else. Okay, so I want to leave, if possible, some of the black behind. And so I'm trying just to deposit a very small amount of paint on the very top of the detail so I get some black definition. Man, it's fucking hot in here. I'm totally gonna paint Bad Batch with red armor after watching you go through this. Nice. I'm working on terrain for my Warhammer board and pinning holes to paint 3D printed dead soldiers' feet. Wait, what are you doing? I'm pinning holes to paint 3D printed dead soldiers. Nice. No, that's totally Warhammer, dude. That's grimdark. Why do you think so many GW minis come with skulls on the bases? Hey mate, it's Max from TTT in Australia watching in super early here, 5:48 a.m. Nice Darth paint scheme. What up, Max? Max is from Tabletop Tech. He's one of the developers, maybe even the owner of the company, that sent us this awesome case we reviewed for like the first 20 minutes of the stream. We're done looking at it now, Max. I'll send you the VOD of it afterwards. We all shared opinions. This chat and I did. And so yeah, I'm curious to hear what you think about our feedback. The one thing, Max, I do want to ask about right now is these drawers that they're more for paint. That's obvious. They seemingly only fit Duncan Rhodes dropper bottles, at least comfortably, right? So that goes in here and you clamp it down and now it's stuck in there. Cool. But if I put another bottle in here, Vallejo Game Colors new stuff, that does not fit. It's the same brand. Army Painter does not fit, and we had similar issues with Vallejo and stuff. Is that intentional? Geertz, appreciate the rec. Scott, I gotta know about the circuit board and the light. Yeah, what's with all the electronics in the light? Is it just for, is the user able to change the color of the LEDs? Why is there's seemingly a decent amount of hardware inside the case itself? So I was just kind of curious what the LEDs do. Are they just supposed to glow white, or do they do something else? We do them for Vallejo, Army Painter, and Citadel, etc. They're just different sizes. The TTC bottles are just slightly smaller. So okay, so Max the Unholy. Your base size, your base holder things, I was praising them because they work for a varied size of bases because, there's a bit of variability in the size of this kind of rubber grommet. You can squish multiple base sizes in. I don't see why you couldn't make this tray 5% larger and then it would work for the Duncan Road stuff and everything else at the same time. Was that something you tried and it didn't work? To make one paint tray for all dropper bottles? Because we used 25 mil up to 32 mil bases in some of your holders, and it worked for all of those. So that accommodates at least 7 mil of difference. Maybe we didn't do that wide of a range. I don't know. Did someone say cheese grommet? I have to ask someone who is nearing the twilight years of his life, how is your neck and back? How do you not lock up completely? What are the twilight years? That sounds ominous. I don't know. The way I sit allows me to not have back problems. I don't know how I get away with it. Am I sitting so terribly? The twilight years. Spooky. 42 plus? I'm 32, dude. I'm a decade away. I'm still young and unkillable, bro. Come on. He's got one foot in the grave. Fuck, dude. Oh no. I'm dead, basically. I mean, yeah, I can figure it out, Rufus. I thought he was maybe saying that I was like 70. That's more like Twilight to me. It all comes tumbling down after 35. Twilight years to me is the cynicism of life beating down on the morale of a person. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I'm 90. God damn, dude. I'm blown away at how hard I have to fight companies to be not anti-consumer. Okay, that's my complaint. We're done with it now. The LEDs can change color. The power plug socket has a magnet located in the socket that you can use to activate the REED switch over the top of the case. Whoa! What? Ah! That's cool. I guess I do see some kind of thing there. Maybe this is what that's for? Okay. We won't look at it now. Scott's lying. I saw his ID. Let's just say he enjoys the senior discount when he eats out. Is this where I found out being a year older than Scott means I'm on death's door? So I entered the twilight years at the age of 18? If you want design feedback, make the slots behave like a spring action cup holder, like the design with a tab to pull back. Yeah, Evan's on his way out. He's in the twilight. He's definitely... We've sunsetted Evan. Fuck. Also, the compression was rather particular. We found that while we wanted to make a sort of one-size-fits-all for all brands, we ended up needing two variants, one for the standard dropper bottles and one for the TTC in particular. Okay. Oh, you're in the twilight. Okay. All right. It's okay for you to be old Gray Phoenix, but not for us. I don't know. I just do what works, or I just do what I do, and then, if it becomes a problem later in my life, then I'll work in some yoga. I have no idea. I don't do anything special for my back. We traded Evan in for two 18-year-old interns who work for Literal Peanuts. Now it's only nut time every 2 weeks. All right, you guys are distracting me. Okay. Thank you, Max. Appreciate you answering some questions. I'll sling you an email. We kind of go over everything. I think the design of your case is very freaking cool. I can tell that someone who cares a lot made it, and they made it for the hobby, with the hobby in mind. And I'm grateful for that, honestly. Okay, now we got a little display board on his chest. Currently, it's just white. It'll stay that way for now, and then maybe we'll make a different change later. Like, who knows? We can do whatever we want. All right. We're going to make this underrobe part a darker red. So like this, but darker. And then the cape will be a bright red glove, along with his boots and his gloves. Maybe his gloves will be that color, but his boots will be the color of his waistcoat. Yeah, we'll do that. I think it looks pretty good with white. I agree. Dinkelbergs loves the case. Nice. Tomorrow is my birthday. I will not be sharing how many it is. Alamo is getting in his twilight years as well. Okay. All right. Let's actually use one of these Vallejo colors because they don't go super bright red. You like the split-colored cape? That wasn't done intentionally. That was done just because I wanted to look at the front of the model and see what it would look like with red on the cape. I didn't want to spend time painting the entire cape. But that's actually an interesting idea, a split-colored cape. Stripes on the cape. Stripes everywhere. All right. There's another way we can differentiate colors of the red, and that's by like using unique shadow colors and highlight colors. So instead of using whites and blacks, we can use blues, yellows, stuff like that. So I could bust out a blue to try to shade these, or a light blue to do the highlights. Let's try to do texture instead of hue. I don't want to introduce too many hues. Hugh Grant, Jackman, Co-Weaving, Bonneville, Mungus. Yeah, John did try out the new Villainy inks in his video where he painted a grim dark space marine. Space marine! The grimmest and darkest. All right. When I am stippling, I'm doing it mostly with the side of my brush. I'm not doing it with the like I'm not stabbing the model. I'm like tapping it with the side. I need some finger cuts for my fingies because I'm laying hands on this this red Vader. Oh, I don't want my paint off. Who else are you putting in your Vader squad for Shatterpoint? I don't know if this is strategically wise, but I am putting him in the squad with the Stormtrooper Sergeant and the squad of Stormtroopers. Admittedly, I haven't got a chance to play around with Grand Moff or shoot, I forgot his name. The guy from The Mandalorian. One of the Moffs and his robots. And I haven't got a chance to play around with Eden Versio, but I would love to pick those boxes up. Moff Gideon, thank you. Summon Lesser Maker. What up? I liking how Red Vader is turning out. Real player B mirror match feel to it. Yeah. Who are your secondary and support units? Just Moff. And Grand Moff Tarkin. My secondary would be the Stormtrooper Sergeant. And the supporting is the Troopers. Troopers. Yeah, they look so cool. They need a version of him with Mandalorian armor. Isn't he in the armor that he appears in the movie? Or at some point he's wearing Mandalorian armor? Man, I haven't watched that show in such a while. Or I haven't watched the newest season of Mando. All right, we got some dots. Let's do some slightly brighter dots. When you're stippling, you don't need to start stippling from the base coat. You probably do like a layer or two of like normal highlights, and then when you start to get into the brighter registers, that's when you start doing like your little dots. Oh, speaking of Star Wars, I think maybe Dan is still here. Mr. Mawson, the manager of my local game store and friend of mine, showed me how to play Star Wars Unlimited. And so I got a chance to play that TCG, which was a lot of fun. He played his Boba Fett deck, which I expect nothing else of Dan to play a bounty hunter deck, and then he generously let me use the Eden Versio deck, and I had a lot of fun. I played 2 games. A Star War. I wasn't super jazzed on the Moff Gideon Mando armor, but I'm sure they'll make one with the Storm Commandos. Does this say Season 4 spoiler? 3 spoiler? I don't know. Whatever the newest one is. Spreading drug addictions? Yeah. I immediately went to go look up all of the other commanders you can take. Like the day he showed me that game. All right, I'm liking what that's looking like. A nice textured surface, a different hue than the armor. It's a little too pink, which honestly, it doesn't matter next to the red armor. It does make it look, you know, kind of reddish. But just for the sake of experimentation, I'm gonna take this crimson ink we have. Crimson is more of a blue-red, a cold red. I mean, as cold as red can get. And we'll try to glaze some of this on to see what that does to the hue. This Vader skin reminds me of the Takeda clan as they are shown in Shogun Total War. Awesome depth of reds. Nice work. Thank you, Max. Thank you. Nice work on designing this case. I think from an engineering perspective, it's very fucking cool. I haven't played Total War 2, the Shogun edition. I've played Total War 2 Warhammer. Warhammer Total War 2. Although I would enjoy playing more of that. I've been playing a lot of Dune Spice Wars recently, and I'm really enjoying like the grander scale RTS games. A buddy of mine who is a huge 40K head hit me up the other day talking about Star Wars Universe and was talking about how fun it was. Oh, Star Wars Unlimited. Yeah, it is fun. It's fun and like, I don't know, it's not like super complicated. Like I would have a much easier time teaching someone that game than I do like Flesh and Blood, for instance. Like the whole like combat chain and like one action thing and like go again, like that is a little bit confusing. But that game, Star Wars Unlimited, was a little bit more straightforward, but it's still fun and complex and deep. I thought it was a really weird choice when Moff Gideon was killed by a high school chemistry teacher and a drug lord in a wheelchair, but that's just new Star Wars, I guess. I used inks for the first time over the past weekend. It was a really fun experience, and I was super pleased with the outcome of the Death Guard model I was painting. That's awesome, Sigmentum. They're a good tool to have in your arsenal, you know? I also enjoy inks quite a bit. All right, let's see what happens. I'm gonna keep the very tops of the highlights, kind of that pasty magenta color, and then we'll kind of like juice up the bottom portions so we get a nice fade from top to bottom. It's like kind of desaturated and faded on top, and then it kind of turns into this nice crimson color right on his rib cage. I actually like that. I think it looks really cool. It's like a faded red. However, I want to make sure the highlight gets all the way to the top here. Butts right up against that armor. I don't want any awkward space to be there. Nice, cool. Yeah, I dig that. I dig that. Let's paint the other side of his rib cage and see if it works. I think maybe the glove should be this color and the cape should be red. I can't tell. This model is so hard to paint, or at least in the way we're painting it. You could start stippling on like this very first base coat layer, and that might create like a more like visually striking kind of texture. I always got to be careful when I'm like trying to explain a technique. I never want to imply that you can't do the things that I'm saying. That's the kind of whole point with art, is that like it really anything is allowed. I'm trying to explain like why I don't do those things, so that you can best make your choices when you're painting miniatures. The new updates on Total War Warhammer 3 have been fantastic, but I'm biased as I love dwarves and Nurgle above all else. That's fun. That's good though. Man, there are so many video games to look forward to. I don't know what to do with myself. I like am so hyped on you have Dune Awakening, or I think Dune Awakening is a TV show. There's a Dune game coming out. There's a new Doom. There's a Dune, D-U-N-E. There's a new Doom, D-O-O-M game coming out. There's a new Hades game coming out. There's a new Star Wars game coming out, but it's made by Ubisoft. It's probably going to suck for the first 6 months when it comes out. But I'm excited for all these games. So excited. What games are you guys hyped on, dude? Yeah, I'm also hyped for the new Dune show. God damn, dude. I mean, I'll take any more Dune content. Although, admittedly, I still have to watch the Dune TV show called Children of Dune. I haven't watched that one yet. With James McAvoy. Hades 2 is fantastic. Oh, man. I saw some estimates. People said that Hades 2 might come out like 2 years from now. That's kind of what the first one did, and I died a little inside. The new Legend of Zelda? Is a new Legend of Zelda? Dune game where you have to rip the bong Jafar before playing? Yeah, absolutely, dude. You gotta fucking drink the water of life. No time for games anymore? Rip. Not gonna lie, I haven't been hyped on any video games in a very long time. What would it take for you to get hyped, sir? My legacy is making Miniac differentiate between Dune and Doom. Thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoyed the design of the Mechie case. I look forward to hearing your feedback a bit later on it. I wanted to ask, how does one find time for video games and hold back the overwhelming pile of gray? I struggle to find time for it all. Max the Unholy, the key is you make a job out of one of those so that in your free time, you can do the others. The new Doom show? Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2. Oh yeah, Space Marines also coming out? Don't watch it until you've read the book. Okay, yeah, I haven't read the book yet. New Mario Party. I rarely play things single player these days, so it's whatever my friends are into. Gotcha, okay. You also get huge updates every couple of months to look forward to. Baldur's Gate 3. Robot War was the Robo War. I have the Blu-ray if you want to watch that. Don't play much video games anymore. Hype for the new Doom. Hype for the new Doom is good, and new Dragon Age. Expecting it to suck. Yeah. Who makes that? Is that still done by the guys who make Mass Effect? But no, honestly, Max, like I don't take sponsorships anymore that like dictate what I have to paint. And so all of my videos are just me living out my hobby power fantasies. They're the things that I would do if I were just doing it casually. BioWare, that's what it is, yeah. I don't know what I would be excited for. I think I've burned myself out of video games, sinking 2,500 hours in Apex. Holy shit. That's a lot. That is a lot of hours. Although Apex is a pretty fucking good game. If I had to play a battle royale game right now, 100% I'm playing Apex Legends. I think I need to stop playing video games. Why do you say that? That's an awesome way to do it. Keeps the hobby exciting, I imagine. I mean, it keeps the hobby regular for me. Like, if I did sponsored vids where I, painted a thing coming out on Kickstarter, I wouldn't paint things at home. I would, because they would just burn me out. I've done that before. When I first started doing sponsored videos, I didn't know that was a thing. And so then I just started only painting models. And then I kind of realized that I was like, man, I've painted a lot of minis, but I don't give a shit about any of these things. I don't give a fuck about any of them. I can't play with any of them. They're all just a bunch of random assortment of minis. And then I also hated what I was doing. I hated painting models. And so now I can do my job for longer. I get to paint what I like. And it's all good. They're consuming my time at an alarming rate for little benefit. I mean, assuming the benefit is entertainment, right? I was addicted to video games for 30 plus years. I finally quit, and painting and board games are now my new healthy hobby. I mean, I think being addicted to anything is probably problematic, but I don't think video games are inherently unhealthy. At least I am telling myself that, so that I can continue playing them without feeling guilty. It's fine until you start giving up things in your real life to play the video game, i.e. not going to work. That's fair. It's so sad because I quit Apex as soon as they released Conduit, who quite literally fits my playstyle like a glove, but she only held my attention for about an additional week or so. I've only ever done one commission and it was terrible for my hobby. I can't imagine doing sponsored miles. Yeah, I mean, I did that for 2 years. And so now I only do sponsored videos that really align with what I am wanting to paint and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Some people can do it just fine. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe John seems like he's doing just fine. He seems like he's found a good mix of it. Admittedly, I don't know how often he does sponsored videos, but I feel like he does them, one every month or so. The new Mindwork minis from the Kickstarter look good. The brown one. I have been spending an alarming amount of time doing Fallout shit instead of painting, so I feel that. I got you. Enjoy some Blood Bowl, Profab. Cool. I think I want to add some texture to the bottom here, because typically when and it's happening a little bit in the sculpt, this belt around his waist would make the fabric pucker right here at the bottom. It'd be flattest in the middle and then kind of stick out of the bottom. So I'll do some more stippling down here by the bottom, and then I'll glaze back over it. So you get the combined effect of there are highlights there, but they're also darker because they're lower on the model. Yeah, so we'll do that. For shadow point commissions, I'm trying something new to keep motivation up. If I'm painting a model for someone that I own, I paint mine at the same time and charge them for 1/2 the paint time. I get my model done and I get paid. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that idea a lot. That's pretty dang cool. Yeah, I don't mean to imply that commission painting is like not for anyone. It's just not for me. I think a lot of people in the world struggle with the idea that like just because something isn't relevant to them, it's like difficult to like see how it's relevant to other people. And that's something that I'm actively trying to fight all the time. Having something of a expanded worldview, I guess you could say. The empathy out there is waning. See, that's the thing, Ice Nine. I don't know if it's waning or if I'm just becoming more like aware of it. I feel like people have always been assholes, and like, you know, now that I'm older, now I'm just more plugged into the larger world, or with the prevalence of social media, now we just give first row tickets to it all. Like I can't look at comments on Instagram Reels. And I know I've said this before. I can't look at comments on Instagram Reels anymore, just because they expose me to a side of humanity that's just like so ugly. It's so ugly. I can't take it. It makes me so angry. Not on my own videos, some random fucking shit that I'm scrolling through. Commission painting is difficult to do without coming up with outlets for your own creative energy. See, for me, every hobby activity consumes my creative energy. Even painting my own stuff to a very large degree. I get creative energy from like other things that then inspire me, and I take that and then I use it in my hobby. And so I'd rather not use it on other people's shit. I think, you know, I don't really know how my brain works, and I'm like constantly figuring that out. There's a thread today on one of the local subreddits that's like the ultimate example of that, which is, what is a business that you don't understand how it could possibly exist, or something like that. And the thread is full of people being like, I don't understand how this is a business, and it's just something that they don't have an interest in. Yeah, it's just like, that's hilarious. That is funny. Note to self, stop shit posting on Scott's Reels. Yeah, no, I don't have any Reels. Nice hair, idiot. I mean, that wouldn't even, man, people are so fucking miserable on Instagram. Actually, you know, that's the one good thing about TikTok, at least from my experience, is that when I watch my wife's TikToks, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna have such evil comments. Go look at the comments, and then we'll look at the comments, and it's just a bunch of people, and they're just saying whatever, neutral things, nice things, making commentary on the video, not just being fucking assholes unrelentingly. Bring back the frosted tips, anti-GW shill. What up, Plank? Max and Holy says, I have found dabbling in some commission painting myself in the past. It's really hard to strike a balance between passion and production. The production layer can take away from trying to push yourself on a model creatively. You often don't experiment with new schemes or weird ideas and kit bashes as much as when it's not your own work. For sure. For sure. That is definitely true. Someone's paying you for a job. That job has an unexpected outcome, and you need to nail that outcome, you know? This isn't the American health industry where it's like, oh, I have a problem, I need a solution. And it's like, well, we don't really know what the solution looks like, and we also don't know what it costs. So you're gonna have to walk into this blind, and then 6 months from now, we're gonna give you a bill for $10,000. Also, you're still fucked. You still have that problem. You know, no industry should be like that. And that's also tough, though, if you're trying to be creative. But not impossible. People out there can certainly do it. Same for me. The thing that gets me on TikTok is people who are just fucking pretending to know things. Sure, yeah. And that's another thing, man. That's another tricky thing is that people will just say stuff and it's like, dude, you have no idea if the fucking bullshit you're spouting is true. And you know, if someone's young, they might not have that kind of like cynicism toward people sharing information. You know, they might not think, oh, like why would someone lie to me on the internet? Like, what do they have to gain through doing that? And that's the kind of thing I guess you gotta learn when you grow up. All right, with a little bit of ink and a little bit of highlighting toward the bottom, I don't know if it's looking red, but in the context of everything else going on, it does look red, and that is good enough. So we'll continue that for the waistcoat on the bottom. You've got health issues. There's your money, and it's gone. You mean people on the internet can lie? Sorry, buddy. Your mini painting insurance doesn't cover priming, basing, metallics, washes, or OSL. Your Space Marine comes out to $5,000. Oh yeah, and if you don't paint that in 2 weeks, we're gonna call collections. Oh, I'm so sad. Schools these days spend a lot of time teaching young kids to not take things on the. Oh, that's beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Thank you, schools. Thank you, schools. You're doing our children a favor. Huge favor. Well, good news, that means I'm halfway out of my pocket expense limit before I start covering stuff. All right. Let's start painting the lower parts. This has much larger volumes for doing stippling. Although admittedly, I'm probably not going to do a lot of that stippling on some of these harder to see areas, such as this like back part. This is actually going to be an interesting experiment. Excuse me. Part of this cape was black, and the rest of it was base coated red. And I'm curious how many layers of paint it's going to take to cover up the this fabric or this, whatever this material is, so that you don't see the difference in black and red undercoat. Apparently that's happening all over the model, so it's kind of shocking actually how much the undercoat really impacts the final look of the color, unless you're like really base coating, like, you know, 4 to 5 times. Wait, Scott's not my dad. Hold on, who told you? No, I am. By allowed, I mean no one can stop you. Obviously, getting here late, Scott is talking about actual painting, which means I must have missed this week's conversation about Dune, horror, Star Wars, and gaming. You know, I'm sad how accurate that is. We did talk about Star Wars. We did talk about gaming. We haven't talked about Dune. At least we talked about the new Dune video game. I don't know if that counts. I'm a bot. Apparently. There was something about Vader equals Fremen, yes. Man's nailed it. No, dude. You're a bot that shares chat's interests. I'm just AI, dude. I'm the AI streamer everyone comes to chat with their interests about. Fuck. That's so funny. There was something about Vader equaling Fremen because someone said something to the effect of Vader drinking his recycled suit water, and I was like, oh, I didn't know Vader was Fremen. You're not gonna be able to see me painting what I'm painting right now because it's in a deep crevasse, but that's okay. I'm done painting it. Question: who's been watching the closed qualifiers for Dota TI? Internationals coming up, baby! October. He hates sand. It's true. Oh, fuck. Okay. Vader can't be Fremen. He hates sand. Again, you can't see what I'm painting. Sorry. What do you guys watch other streamers? What do they talk about during their streams? Obviously, you talk about the painting. That goes without saying. But do they talk about other things as well? I'm assuming they do. Do all painters just talk about painting? Maybe they talk about miniature war games too. Is the bot broken? I'm not sure. It could be. The chat moves so fast. The wizards. Upcoming events they're going to, silly stories, everything really. Life, gaming, state of the world. Avoid politics at all costs. You'll never catch me talking about politics. I do not do the requisite work required to have a legitimate opinion about politics that I am willing to share on the internet. Have you seen Zambi's stream? Painting does come up about 45 minutes into the stream. That's kind of like me too. Talking about their truck on stream so they can write off their new paint job. Nice. The only other painter that I watch talks about painting, and he'll have painting tutorials for channel points. Okay. Been looking forward to the Duchess for a while. Just saw it, ordered one. Nice, thank you, Cree. Appreciate that. You signed up for 2 Spearhead events? That's fun. Like that stops anyone else? No, it doesn't stop anyone else. But it kind of gives me a get out of jail free card, you know, when someone asks me about like political opinions. I'm just like, you know what? Like, I do not think enough about that topic to have a worthwhile opinion. Like, you wouldn't want to hear what I'd have to say because it would just be like a bunch of like, I don't know, you know? And so that kind of gives me some ability to avoid it. My dad talks about it a lot. My dad is so interesting because, like, you guys don't know anything about my dad. He sends me so many emails about politics and also investing in cryptocurrency and stuff like that. And like literally my dad and I don't really share any of the same interests other than maybe like in action movies and stuff like that. But like the way my dad works and the way he thinks and the way he has conversations, that is like 100% a carbon copy of me. But my interests come from my mom. My mom is into Star Trek. She's into Star Wars. You know, she's read all the Dune books, you know, like she's a huge fucking geek. And so it's really interesting to see like, you know, how you're a hybrid of your parent sometimes. Everyone's comfortable sharing what they're comfortable sharing. Vince and Rob and Honest Wargamer gave. Okay, so Swinton talks less in a stream. What you're saying is that you have a lot of huge humility. Yeah, tons of it. Is Anakin / Darth Vader on the dark side or the light side of the Force? Or is he just the Force incarnate because he's the chosen one? You know, yeah, I feel like he should have a white lightsaber, you know? I know, you know what? What side of the fence are you guys on about lightsaber colors? Is it meaningless outside of the red ones? Or is there meaning in them? Your dad's a crypto bro? He is, yeah, he reads a lot about it and tells me about it all the time. Ooh, I don't know. I think the lame answer to that question, Max, is that Vader was at one point a light side Force user and at another point a dark side Force user. There was a transition that went on. That's kind of a lame answer, though. Voice to text destroys everything. Use your fucking fingers. You're just laying in bed, Evan. After the invasion of Ukraine, I developed an interest in global politics. I can recommend all is Simon Whistler's channels on YouTube, but specifically Warographics, truly neutral reporting and thought-provoking videos on YouTube. Cool. Meaningless, however, orange. I'm on the side that says red is bad guys, blue is good guys, green is good guys, but filmmakers realize your blue saber won't show up on Tatooine sky. Purple equals, okay, so meaningless. Sometimes voice text is nice just because, I don't know. Sometimes I'm just walking around and I don't want to I feel like when I text, I have to stop everything I'm doing to text. And if I use voice text, I can keep being on the move. I can walk and talk into my phone and text, but I can't do that if I'm typing with my fingers because undoubtedly I'm going to run into something and cause some kind of mild catastrophe. Personally, I was a fan of the Knights of the Old Republic lightsaber colors, which were associated with type of Jedi. Gotcha, okay. There's some kind of understanding that the crystal color kind of chooses you, based on the kind of person you are and stuff like that. I've seen that idea shared. I'm done. Rufus Kit, you are never going to argue to me convincingly that I should be calling people. I am a 32-year-old, okay? I don't call people on the phone. That is for 37-year-olds and higher. I hate calling people. I have a friend who's the same age as me, and we went to the same high school and everything, and he fucking calls me all the time, and I hate it. It's my assistant editor for the podcast. It's Alex. Calls me all the damn time. And all of us meme on him for it all the time. You can still see that dark spot. This will be the third or fourth base coat to go over it. I'm 36 and I definitely call people. Rule of cool when it comes to the lightsabers. The one thing I'll say about lightsabers is it's still less dumb than the dark side turning your eyes yellow. Sometimes. I'm 37 on a Thursday. Wife calls me all the time. Wish she sent text instead. I hate calling people, but don't mind getting calls. I disagree. I'm 39 and will only call in life or death situations. Some things are just easier to get done in a phone call instead of back and forth texts. I think the problem in my head with things getting done easier in a phone call is like sometimes I just can't like commit to stopping everything I'm doing to have a conversation with a person, you know? Like I don't want to invest 5 minutes in a phone call. I'd rather invest 7 minutes texting that person where like each 7 minutes is like a 30-second time period where I'm writing a text, setting my phone down, and then continuing with whatever else I want to do. I don't want to ever dedicate time to a phone call. Unless it's like catching up with someone, you know? But like that surely is unreasonable. I guess in terms of efficiency, that certainly is unwise. Damn, you shouldn't. I won't answer. Yeah, I used to call people, I call people when I was like young, but the extent of that was like, hey, can we hang out? Like when I was in grade school. Rufus Kid, I rarely answer my phone. You can count on me. I did not forget that. You're right, Rufus. A phone call in the situation that I mentioned would definitely be more efficient. All right, we're on like base coat 4 or 5 now to cover up this patch where there was a dark spot and a bright spot. So yeah, again, you gotta use a lot of fucking paint to cover up black undercoat if you want to have full opacity. I often wonder, why was Anakin allowed to become a Force ghost? Surely he murdered like an insane amount of Jedi and the younglings. I get that he's redeemed, but is that enough to do the Jedi-only thing of getting to live forever as a ghost? Does Anakin deserve to be a Force ghost? Where is the retribution? Where is the justice for the younglings? Great question. Maybe some people would say that his life lived apart from his children and Padme, and honestly living a lie where like he's living in a universe where he thinks I can resurrect people if I'm strong enough in the Force, and maybe he can. That's enough of a punishment? Maybe. The light side is about forgiveness, yo. The Force is like light from a sun. It has no judgment. Interesting. I like to believe that the Force ghost thing is a manifestation of the living Jedi that sees them more than being about anything the dead Jedi did. That's another, the Force ghost isn't Vader. It's Anakin, right? So maybe that's a thing, That lightsaber stump makes me sad. Don't worry, we'll fix it. Woo! Okay. The chat moves quickly when we get talking about Force ghosts. I love talking Star Wars lore. Pretty sure it depends on whether or not you pay for the Force Ghost Union dues. Oh my god, dude. That's funny. Okay, let's get some white up in here. Start to highlight this massive fucking thing. So because this cloak is so large, I'm not going to start with stippling. I will start with some layering and then work in my texture. Also, I don't necessarily need a ton of highlighting. It is a lower element on the model. Don't want to attract too much attention to it. That is the conventional wisdom when it comes to painting. It also just means I don't have to try as hard. And I've got to paint as long. Also, I love how the Max from Tabletop Tech is hanging out and chatting Star Wars. I love that. All right, see ya, Thedoy de Lotanar. You ever considered doing a build with an electronic flexi LED for a lightsaber? I can help out with some ideas if you're keen on that kind of thing. It's a bit of a gimmick, but so here's my thing about gimmicks. I love them. I love gimmicks in the hobby. Like there is definitely this weird like purist painting thing where like everything on the model must be paint. And I really don't understand that. All I care about is just making something that is fucking cool. And absolutely putting some kind of LED in like terrain and in like models and like other cool things, like putting static grass on like tree lord ancients from wood elves. Like I love that stuff. I love it. So yeah, I'm definitely into that idea. Yearn for the urn. I never had a bike. Thanks to the Prime sub. Rule of cool preempts all. True. I think that the idea, the purist idea that I shared, probably most often applies to painting competitions. So in that regard, I do understand. But still, I would love to stick an LED in a Jedi lightsaber. That'd be super cool. Ew, fun. Yeah, dude, boile hobby time. Tell that man you can't use LEDs. We'll come for you. We'll come for you and your children. I don't think he would do that. He seems like a pretty nice guy, actually. I just mean like, go watch his videos and then you tell me if you think LEDs and miniature scale are, you know, gimmicky and lame and whatnot. That's not what they're saying. They're not saying they're lame. Counterpoint, Evan put LEDs in his asshole dragon, so... actually, fuck, you're right. Actually, I hate LEDs now. Or do I hate Age of Sigmar? I don't hate Age of Sigmar. Although I really can't wait to get my hands on a copy of 4.0 and make another review video about it. But I gotta be on top of my shit though. That's the kind of video that needs to come out like around the time 4.0 comes out. And notoriously, I'm very bad at being on my shit. It's the kind of video that Jay from Eons of Battle will beat me to like 10 times over. You have less than a month. You do your streams very regularly. Yeah, I stream once a week. Same time every week. Got a few weeks. "30 people will have that review video the day the embargo lifts." Oh, for sure they will. But those people don't have the legacy that I have of shitting on Age of Sigmar and everyone hating me. So there's a little bit of clickbait advantage I have there. It's a tiny amount. Also, I don't think I shit on Age of Sigmar that bad. Star Wars Geek! You missed the Star Wars conversation. Thanks to the Prime sub, though. 21 months. Amazing. Just play games over and over again. Post more videos. Fair. I should, honestly. Exactly. That's almost the exact title OSW is in Kiki. Is 4th edition also trash? Yes, I did say that, Evan. Anyone who likes Age of Sigmar is literally a Nazi. I did say that. This is facts. Oh, thank you, Max. Appreciate it. I'm almost positive you said if you like AOS after this video, you are the first up against the wall when the revolutionary comes. Jesus Christ. Here's my cynical take on AOS 4.0. It's going to feel just like AOS, but the quality of life will be improved maybe by a factor of 2, like a significant amount, you know? It'll feel a lot better to play, but the game and the way the game, you know, works and ebbs and flow will feel the same. I did ask Vince if the time to kill was more chill, and he did say yes. But I don't know. I don't think, like, as a person who is not super experienced like Vince is, I'm not sure if I'm going to notice that. Yeah, no, I don't like Age of Sigmar at all. I'm definitely not making a board for it right now. Sweats. Get him. Get him. Yeah, I wanted to play 10 games of AOS 4.0 or something like that. 10 or 5, and then make a video about my first impressions. And I'll have to be very clear that, I mean, I don't know how I could be more clear than I was in the first time I made the video, but I'll have to be even clearer that I am not a seasoned veteran, and these are my first impressions of the game after, 10 or so games. Awesome, Dinkelbergs. We appreciate you here. There are significant changes to the game. Who's your favorite AOS army and why is it Grot Pirates? Oh my god. That isn't amazing sounding. It definitely seems like from what I've seen that the stats across the board went down, offensively particularly. I am looking forward to loving this game and being so wrong about everything. I want to be wrong. I want to love it. I want to be like everyone else. I don't want to be an asshole. I just am naturally. 24-hour stream. Scott, we can get 10 games in. Can we? I don't think so. We need to, at some point, eat food. Ooh, an escalation league on launch. Skaven. I don't want to be like this, but I can't appreciate that slop. I got mixed feelings on AOS a bit recently since I collect bone splitters and I am apparently being phased out. Oh yeah, that would definitely make me feel a fucking certain way about GW games. I'm trying to remember what you shit talked about Kill Team in TUP. I think Kill Team, the way they write rules is needlessly verbose, which is kind of a GW thing. I think the shape thing is a little childish and unnecessary for movement, but that's low-hanging fruit. Everyone says that about Kill Team. As far as like the actual gameplay goes, once you get past the rules and you understand what they're trying to do and like what they actually mean, I think Kill Team's a pretty good game. I don't mind it. I think Overwatch is not a good idea for how to deal with warbands that have larger numbers than you. It is a way to deal with the problem of skirmish-size warbands that have more activations and more minis than you. I do not think it is a good way. But like, I don't think there's anything about Kill Team that's like game-breaking. Or there aren't so many small issues that they add up to be game-breaking, if I remember correctly. Isn't Kill Team just bad Infinity? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. Infinity is not a perfect game either, at least from my very limited experience playing it. Kill Team line of sight and cover rules are not good. I think they're trying to emulate close quarter combat, close quarter ranged combat. But I will admit that I also struggle to read and understand them. And a lot of people that I know are in a similar boat. Yeah, I definitely struggle to understand them. Kill Team's rules get in the way of the game to a point. There's just a lot going on. Yeah. Where's Jay? Jay's like a huge Kill Teamer, and so is Azathoth. Oh, I think I agree with Azathoth. I think there's a lot of skill expression in like line of sight and cover and stuff. If you know the rules and like you understand what's going on. I think that the hard part is just understanding what's going on. IMO. As someone playing in an Infinity Escalation League right now, Infinity is just a bad version of Infinity Boom Roasted. Got him, dude. Fucking got him. I like Kill Team. Trying to explain the cover rules to a new is hard. Jim Crimmins. Actually, Azathoth, or anyone. Explain how we determine in Kill Team if something is in cover. Also, explain to me if I can see something in Kill Team. I want to know those two things. Because I cannot remember. And I'm learning the game. I saw a video talking about how you don't want to take cover right behind cover, but you do want to be an inch back because it gives you better cover or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay, so it's not just me then. It seems like I'm seeing a lot of resounding feedback about how cover is a challenge in Kill Team. Yeah, so it's very, very verbose rules. I think a little needlessly verbose, probably. I think they probably could have achieved what they were trying to achieve without confusingly explaining it or over-explaining it. I don't know. It's been a while since I played that game, so Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I don't really know. The fact that there's whole videos online for LOS and covers, not just whole videos, but multiple videos. Like there's like multiple channels have taken a crack. All right, here we go. Something is in cover if it is within 1 inch of any cover, and the shooting model cannot see the entire base. Okay, that seems pretty simple. I'm back and Vader is red! Vader, hardly knew her. I actually love Infinity's cover rules. You like the little silhouette tokens and like trying to figure out what percent of the silhouette is covered by the structure. Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. There's like every model has like a silhouette size, and that determines something. Why won't GW release Grot Pirates for AOS? Because they're cowards. Really, that's why. You know, they're just keeping them from us. Cowards. Cover is about being in base contact with something you agree is covered. Okay. Nice, Cornflake. It's working on the Duchess right now. What scheme are you going for, sir? Something is in line of sight if it is not obscured and not concealed, plus in cover. Something is in line of sight if it is not obscured, so something in the way, and not concealed, which is a status you can take in Kill Team, plus in cover. So if it is not obscured, how can something be not obscured but in cover? Is that possible in Kill Team? I'm doing greens and ivories. Ooh, leather accents. Kind of okay. Trying to decide between brass and bronze. I would say brass. Oh no. I don't know. Those two are pretty similar hue-wise. Thank you, Tinklebergs. I appreciate it. Ooh, I love war paint, dude. I love war paint like that. I love painting a larger fig with like a stripe across their temple and their eyes. Like that looks so fucking cool. Go get that Kill Team cover flowchart. Yes, obscurity and cover are two different things. Obscurity is that there's heavy cover between you and the target. Think trying to shoot something through a window. So cover refers to being in light cover, and obscurity is heavy cover? I know that's wrong. I know that's wrong. I still have to, gotta base coat this part in fucking darkness. I should have said heavy terrain, but only heavy creates obscurity. Oh boy. There are levels of line of sight blocking terrain. Dude, I was on board with your description. Your mom's in cover. Fucking A. I was like reading and I read that and I just couldn't continue. I was totally on board with the line of sight rules. That was clear. Now this cover business, you've lost me as a thought. You can be in cover from either heavy or light if you're close by it. Okay? So cover includes obscurity. Obscurity, all obscurity is cover. Not all cover is obscurity. Right. You're correct? My mom is the cover. Dude, your mom is so fat. She is cover. She is obscuring cover in Kill Team. No, I'm wrong. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Okay. Dude, I haven't told a yo mama joke in a fucking hot minute, dude. Obscurity and cover are just two different conditions. Okay, understood. Obscurity and cover are two different conditions. but definitively, like thinking about what they represent in the game, it sounds like they're representing similar things. You said obscurity is like imagine shooting someone through a window. That sounds like cover, you know, just in a literal sense. So cover is just like something less intense. Cover equals someone hiding immediately behind terrain. Okay. So cover is I'm hiding behind a bunker. Obscurity is something extraneous is in the way, in between me and the target. It's not necessarily cover. I'm not intentionally using it as cover. It just happens to be in the way of the line of fire. Did I get it? I think I got it. Exasperated? Let's just play Frostgrave. I think Kill Team is definitely not the kind of audience that would appeal to Frostgrave. Very different games. Yeah, basically. Okay, so I'm wrong somewhere. No, but that's what it is. Kill Team's cover system doesn't add complexity, which feels good. In games like Necromunda, the terrain rules are complex, sure, but they're also fun and engaging to play around. Just my take. No, I feel you. There's definitely, there's a certain degree of complexity that can sometimes feel a little needless in games, not just in Kill Team. All games can have this problem as well. It's like you're just adding it for the sake of it. Like I remember playing a board game recently that had so many types of resources, and they were all just like you could convert them into the other resources, and like they weren't adding anything to the game. They were just like more versions of the same thing, and it was like so hard to track them all and like figure out what their value was. So no, games will definitely add complexity for the sake of it, and it's tough sometimes. My Friday night group plays both Kill Team and Frostgrave. Okay, I stand corrected. I stand corrected, sir. Hey, you play Kill Team, and then you gotta fucking cool down and playing some chill Frostgrave after the crunchiness that is Kill Team, apparently. Yeah, the close combat process in Kill Team is pretty interesting. I think actually Evan had a pretty interesting critique of it, though. Like, I forget what it was. I don't know if Evan's still here. How's my own game design going? I have another friend, it's actually my editor for the podcast, who is also making games, and we are meeting up and chatting about game design so that we both make consistent progress. So for the first time in a long time, I'm actually making progress on my game design. It definitely ground to a halt after I discovered that, oh, maybe people who like mini painting don't give a shit about board game design, and I shouldn't make videos about that. I was kind of like, fuck, what now? Thank you, yeah. I also like the shins too. The shoulder area I'm really happy with. Like this area, that really feels like red NMM to me. I was really happy with that. Oh, that reminds me. I did not look over the reviewed script. No, I did not. Combat in Kill Team is more guaranteed damage at the cost of making it likely to take damage yourself. I love that design video. I loved making it, and I could definitely make at least 3 more game design videos like right now. But I think they'll all just bomb. Although, I think I would love to get to a point with YouTube where I wouldn't need sponsors anymore, and I could just totally live off of my Patreon and product sales, because I feel really bad selling a sponsorship slot to a person knowing it's going to go in a game design video, just because I know for a fact it isn't going to get as many views, and I feel really guilty about that, and so I just don't want to do it. I gave the Obi-Wan model to Dan Mawson. I don't have it anymore. I think I also gave him the terrain. I just wanted the Vader. Coming in with this scarlet ink now. Again, scarlet or crimson. It's crimson. Crimson is more of a cold blue color. It leans toward the cold spectrum more than your typical kinds of reds. Lobot. Would you do a second channel for views that have independent sponsorship metrics? Thank you, Max. Appreciate it. As a thought, to answer your question, I think I probably, I have limited time to do things. I probably shouldn't spend time on like a secondary channel. Just because like one lesson I learned in 2023 was that if I ever have excess time, I should just do more of the thing that got me to where I am now in the first place, aka painting content. I don't really know like when it is appropriate to expand your IP, because like you're gonna take a hit monetarily when you do that. Like it's not like immediate, it's like kind of more of like a subtle thing. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying though? Like basically, I don't know. Definitely talked about this before. More videos is more videos, yes, but to give you an extreme example, if I just start making videos about like My Little Pony lore, it is more videos, but people will not watch them because that's not my channel. There are millions of people on the face of the earth that will watch My Little Pony content, but they're not my subscribers, and so that kind of video would die on my channel, despite there being an audience for it. Similarly, my audience, while there is crossover, for sure, with gaming and miniature painting, there is less so. So when I make a video, it kind of dies, you know? So more videos is more videos, but if I'm thinking about it from a viewer perspective, and it's kind of like, oh, I used to watch Miniac, but then he started making this kind of content that I wasn't super into personally, so he kind of fell off my radar a little bit. And I started watching his videos, instead of watching all of his painting videos, I now watch half of his painting videos because the other half is gaming videos. And that sends a signal to YouTube to be like, oh, this person is less interested in Miniac, so now I'm gonna show Miniac less to this person. And then eventually maybe it gets even worse and they watch less content. And even though you're subscribed, you see nothing. So there's like a balancing act you gotta do as a YouTuber to kind of figure out how can I experiment in my niche while still maintaining healthy relatability, or I don't know if that's the right word, but I think you know what I mean. No MLP videos. I don't know what that is. Major League something. What up, Crisp? Not gonna lie. That was agreeing with you. Oh, okay, I got you. Not gonna lie, I'll be straight up and say if you do a game design video, I probably wouldn't watch because I'm not interested in that aspect of the hobby. And that is totally reasonable. That is so reasonable. Latino Hot. I'd imagine it'd be nice if you didn't have to worry about monetization. Absolutely. When you are in the honeymoon phase of a YouTube channel and you are not relying on it as an income, That is your license to fucking experiment endlessly, try things out, try different videos, try different formats, do all kinds of crazy shit because you don't rely on that income. And so you can do whatever you want to a degree. And there are those of us who have watched every video you produce. Seriously, that's true. That's amazing. Amazing. I was saying that even if you don't make gaming videos, if you end up making more videos, equals good. This is true. This is true. Miniac, MLP is My Little Pony? What? Oh, I don't know how I didn't figure that out. No MLP videos. Yeah, so all this to say, I don't really know. I don't really know how to make videos about game design on a miniature painting channel and make it interesting. You know, it takes a long time. You gotta train your audience, and you know, you're effectively splitting your audience. You know, half of them are gonna want to watch your gaming stuff, half of them are gonna watch your painting stuff, and it's tough. It's tough. It's not impossible. Obviously, there are channels that do that, but it's tough. Man, some of the grooves on this cape are so deep. Alan Barbo, thanks for the raid, appreciate it. We stand the Miniac, appreciate it. It's about figuring out the script that marries the two more often than not. It's also a good point. You can have content that bridges the gap, you know? You can have a couple pieces of gap bridging content so you can kind of take viewers on a journey with you. It's like, I like painting, you like painting, I also like this other thing, here's why you might also like this other thing, you know? Like there's a little bit of that as well, which basically, if you watch my board game review video, that's me trying to bridge that gap. You know, the thumbnail features GW in a prominent way, which is a language people on my channel understand. The opening talks about GW products and like how I view that as quality models, and like, you know, that's the standard. So like there's ways to make content to bridge that gap, for sure. For sure. Alan Barba, what's up? And truthfully, the era of viral cooking videos is significantly less prevalent today. That's true, yeah. Do you reckon you would consider trying your hand at a Trader Guard kit bash? On the topic of splitting focus, I reckon that's where chats like this Twitch live stream are great. You can talk about anything and everything without disrupting the primary focus of YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. That's actually one of the reasons why I enjoy Twitch so much, is that I just treat it in a very lawless way. Like, Twitch to me is not the platform where I am concerned about engagement and like all this, like, you know, all the important things and having a rigid schedule, and I don't care about that shit with Twitch. I'm just here as like a side bay to YouTube. Like that's like literally it. So yeah, regarding a Trader Guardsman conversion, nothing in my hobby brain is like peaking because of that idea. I will say, however, that the Trader Guardsman models in Blackstone Fortress are fucking awesome. And you know, at some point in my life, there may be a reason why I suddenly get super into Trader Guardsman, and then that all changes. But for now, not super into it. Lawless? Been a few years. I'm following you on YouTube. I'm wondering why I never catch you here on Twitch. I'm here at this time, at this place, every week, same time, same place. So we're cheating on YouTube, yeah, basically. Have you looked at the print-on-demand Guild Ball stuff? I'm just waiting on the last couple of things I need to complete my collection. I can't wait to get back to painting them. I haven't really looked at the new Guild Ball stuff. I was just playing Scythe: Rise of Fenris actually yesterday, which is like the campaign version of Scythe. And my buddy, who I've played Guild Ball with a couple times, was like, "We should play that game again." And I was like, "Oh my god, yes, please." I would love to play Guild Ball. It's hard. It's hard to find time for all these games. Also, a lot easier for me to convince my friends to play board games than it is to play miniature war games. Okay. Well, I think we got the waistcoat done. Oh, it's 4:22. I should be done probably. We have some interesting texture on the hips, on his upper part. It's a nice kind of, it's still a little wet with ink right now. I'm gonna blast it real quick. Just a warning, Shark is still a bastard. Yeah, the captain for the fishermen. So I started blasting. Well, here's another version of contrast that I didn't expect. Obviously, inks are glossy, and so the result is a much more satin thing, which is a little bit weird. I wouldn't expect a thing with texture to also be satin. So I think I'll probably hit that with a matte varnish later down the road. Cool, yeah. We're there, we're done. We're not done, we're done with the stream so far. What we have remaining is the big cloak, his gloves and his boots, his belt and a saber, and also whatever these stripes are gonna be. I'm not sure where they're gonna be. We gotta figure that out at some point. Thank you, Max, a lot, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna head out, y'all. Thanks for the subs. So many high month subs, incredible. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with me, talking about movies, talking about TV shows, talking about Star Wars, talking about Dune, talking about video games. It's fun, My wife isn't very into all that stuff, so I have to force those conversations on her. But it's nice just to have those chats with you guys. No, thank you, Dinkelbergs. See you later, Latino Hot. See you later, Professional Paint Liquor. Thanks for the Duchess model of paint. I'm glad you're loving it. I'm glad you're loving it. Seriously, that's one of the best compliments I can get. Is that a model I had a hand in designing is enjoyable to paint. See you later, Grizz. All right, y'all. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. 1 p.m. CST to 4 p.m. CST, Tuesday, twitch.tv/Miniac. All right, y'all. I gotta find my button. Thank you for giving me great advice. I will never forget to paint more minis. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I see you, Plank. It's coming together? I think it's coming together. I think it's going to be a really striking model on the Shatterpoint board. I'm excited for it to be done and to be next to my Inquisitors and their red lightsabers. It'll look very cool. Maybe I'll put it in Adepticon's Shatterpoint painting competition. Anyways, I got to find the button that stops the stream. So this is going to be awkward for a second. Lurk you later. All right. See you guys.